to do. What I ought to do, by the grace of God, I will do. Lord, what will you have me, and what will you have us to do? Amen. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. This passage from 1 Corinthians, fondly referred to as the love chapter, has been a favorite of couples preparing for marriage for ages. They and we often hear it through a lens of romanticism that gives way to what we might call the warm and fuzzies. But the Apostle Paul will not allow us to linger long in dreaming up such niceties. Love, real love, the love of 1 Corinthians and the love of Christ is not always warm and fuzzy. Sometimes it's downright uncomfortable, like doing something for someone else that you could not ever imagine doing. Sometimes it knows the pain of rejection, abandonment, and humiliation. Sometimes it hurts, like nails being driven through our flesh. Sometimes it looks like crucifixion on a cross. Real love is not merely a word, a sentiment, a feeling, or a one-occasion wonder. It is an action, a choice acted out that repeats itself over and over and over again. It puts the interest of the other person first, and it always costs us something. Without real love like this, writes the Apostle Paul, we sound like clanging cymbals. We end up generating disruptive, annoying sounds that drive people away instead of towards us. Real love has as its aim glorifying Christ. It gives sacrificially, and it gives extravagantly. Real love may take all that we have. At this year's annual Diocesan Council meeting, we were blessed to have as a keynote speaker the Reverend Cliff Christopher. Reverend Cliff is a Methodist minister with a lot to say about why giving to the church is on the decline. Despite any biblical standard for giving of the tithe, that 10% established by God and then affirmed by Jesus Christ, across denominational and faith lines, whether it's a good time or a bad time, people give to the church an average of 2 to 3% of income. Christopher provided example upon example of how the same people who give to the church give significantly more to other nonprofits. Not because the church no longer does good work, not because the church may be perceived to be obsolete or irrelevant, not even because we no longer are the place where people learn to care about others, We and the gospel message we proclaim are the inspiration for those whom we then send forth into the world to create the nonprofits that frequently become the recipients of our larger giving. According to Christopher, a key reason why giving to the church falls on the lower end of our giving scale is because we, the church, fail to clearly articulate and connect the giving we request with the outcome people most want to see when we give. We want to know, don't we, that our giving makes a lasting difference. We want to contribute to changing lives for the good. We give sacrificially and extravagantly to the church as much as to other nonprofits when we can be confident that our giving has had and will continue to have lasting impact. Consider how extravagantly and sacrificially this community gives to the Arlington Food Assistance Center. Again today we will participate in the Souperbowl of Caring by collecting gifts of non-perishable foods and monetary donations that we then pass on to AFAC,